Books starring Dallin West, Willow Kay, and Brooklyn Hunter. What is a book?
A book is any written document. Not all media is on iPads, iPhones, or the internet. Books are also considered a form of media. There are many different forms of books, and there's many different types of books. The first books were in like Mesopotamia and Egypt, where they had scrolls and like stone tablets. Then they slowly developed molds where they could like dip them in ink and print them on paper to develop books that way. But then two major developments that helped develop books was the invention of paper and the invention of the printing press, because paper made it easier for lots of paper to go around, and the printing press was easy to mass produce books, and it was faster to produce books. And then the invention of electronics came around, which made it easier for us to now have ebooks and audiobooks that can be accessed 24/7 at our fingertips. What are types of books?
There are many different genres of books. Some genres of books are religious, such as your scriptures. There's also action and adventure, like Harry Potter. There's dystopian, like The Hunger Games. There's education, like your textbooks. Fairy tales, like Cinderella. And there's also self-help books, cooking books, biographies and autobiographies, history, humor, poetry, horror, mystery, drama, romance, and so much more. A type of book we're going to talk about today is picture books. We are going to read you Are You My Mother, but it has a little twist.
Are You My Mother by P.D. Eastman. A mother bird sat on her egg. The egg jumped. "Oh, oh," said the mother bird. "My baby will be here. He will want to eat." "I must get something for my baby bird to eat," she said. "I will be back." So away she went. The egg jumped. It jumped and jumped and jumped. Out came the baby bird. "Where is my mother?" he said. He looked for her. He looked up. He did not see her. He looked down. He did not see her. "I will go and look for her," he said. So away he went. Down out of the tree he went. Down, down, down. It was a long way down. The baby bird could not fly. He could not fly, but he could walk. "Now I will go and find my mother," he said. He did not know what his mother looked like. He went right by her. He did not see her. He came to a kitten.
Are you my mother?
Go.
Are you my mother? Are you my mother? Are you my mother? Are you my mother?
Yes.
I found my mother.
As you can see, our book turned into a movie because that's what's happening in today's world. Books are losing popularity and movies are gaining popularity. We did a poll where we tested about who likes books better and who likes movies better. 23% voted they liked books better, and 77% voted they liked movies better. Now, when we dug a little bit deeper and we asked which has a better story, we found out that 63% of people say that books have a better story, but 37% of people say that movies have a better story. Movies are easier to watch than books are to read because they require less brain power. It's easier to sit through an hour of a movie than it is to read multiple hours out of a book. Many people do believe that books have a better story, it's just that movies are easier to get through, so they don't read as many books. We also did another poll about which do you prefer, ebooks or real books. 17% said they preferred ebooks, whereas 83% said that they preferred real books.
You may be wondering why more people prefer real books over ebooks when these things weigh about 10 pounds compared to...
These are not very heavy.
Yeah, and you can access thousands of books on that little device.
Mm-hmm. But many people say that they like real books better because it helps them comprehend better, and they enjoy holding a real physical book with real pages. But you can access a lot more, a lot easier on this, and it's a lot easier to carry around.
In the past, books were used more for like documenting things and recording history in their day-to-day lives, and in the past it was mainly books kind of like builded the foundation for like language and the alphabet, and then they started to get more particular with like grammar and things like that. So back in the past, books weren't really so much for pleasure as they were more for like documenting things. And nowadays we read books for more pleasure and entertainment because books are such a luxury to us, and they're so easy to access, and they're everywhere. We can pretty much read whenever we want. Books are also really important to read, especially for little kids, and helping develop their brains and helping stimulate imagination and expanding their knowledge. In the future, we'll still use books like we do now for all of the same purposes and reasons, except the only difference is paper books will eventually become extinct, and everyone will eventually turn to ebooks and audiobooks entirely, and paper books will be almost unheard of. One of the main reasons for this is because paper books aren't a very effective way for storing information, whereas ebooks and audiobooks can't physically be harmed. And
throughout history, books have always been evolving, and they've always been changing, and as technology has advanced, they've always become more handy and gotten better. The first accounts of the written book was a mythology account of a historical figure, and the book was called the Epic of Gilgamesh, and that was clear back in 2700 to 2500 BC. And if you fast forward a few thousand years, the first printed book is the Gutenberg Bible, also known as the 42-line Bible, and that was in 1454 and 1455. Fast forward another few hundred years, and you're into ebooks, and the first ebook written was actually the Declaration of Independence, but it was by Michael S. Hart in 1971. As technology advances, I think we're going to lean more towards ebooks, because carrying this around or a phone, you can hold hundreds of books, but you can't just carry 100 books in your pocket. So I think we're always going to adapt and lean more towards technology with books.
Back in 1971, Michael S. Hart digitized the Declaration of Independence, becoming the first American ebook in U.S. history. According to Forbes, Bill Gates paid the most ever for a book. It was $30.8 million in 1994. It was the Codex by Leonardo da Vinci. In today's money, that would be roughly $49.8 million. The best-selling fiction book of all time is Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities, which was publicized in 1859. It is the most sold novel of all time. And while Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities is the best-selling novel of all time, the Bible is the best-selling book of all time, period. It's estimated to have sold over 5 billion copies, and it is also the first book to ever be printed. Teeny Ted from Turnip Town is the smallest book ever made. It can only be seen using an electron microscope, and its measurements is 70 micrometers by 100 micrometers, and it can fit on the width of a human hair.
Just like any other form of media, books change our opinion. They change the way that we see the world. Whether it be biased or not, they portray their view. It's just like on the news, how we see a story happening one way, and we may not get the whole story, but we get part of it, and so it changes our opinion based off of what we see. Books are the exact same way. Whether it be political views or anything else, they affect our opinion just the same as any other form of media does.